Okay, there are those of you that are going to run into items that you just can't get off of your credit report. Um, and the thing about that is somebody else could have had the item removed. It almost just ends up being an issue of luck. Um, in the same way that two of your reports will take an item off very easily, and the third one puts up a fight. So you have to engage in that battle. But for that one remaining item, typically it's going to be an account that's a little bit more fresh. You owe them money. They're a well-established company, like a large bank or something, and they're going to go the distance for the most part. These are issues that will go away at some point, but when they're fresh, the best way to deal with that is I'd have to relate a story of one of my current clients. Him and his wife, we've done a great job repairing their credit. She came up a couple hundred points. He came up about 100 points. They're both stuck with the same item on all three reports. So what I did is I basically laid out for him what needs to happen. And whether it's a letter or a phone script, it's all the same. If you can go into the bank and meet with a manager and just tell them, look, most importantly, we want this item off our report. That is priority number one. Whether or not that's the first thing you tell the bank manager, that's up to you. But when it's all said and done, all you want is that item off. So some of you will find yourself in a situation where you have the money to pay that item off in full. Some of you can pay a portion. The bank on their end, there's a certain amount that they're going to want. It could be as low as half or a third of that original balance that you owe. No matter what you negotiate, and always start small. You don't just want to say, hey, we'll pay the whole amount right now. It's an old issue. Help yourself. Think about your future and get by with the least that you can. So let's say you owe your bank $1,000 and you've got 1,000. Go in there and say, what would you guys like? They may come right out and say, look, we'll remove this item from the reports for 50%. And just pay them the 50, and you made 50%. Go buy some groceries with it. Now, there are those that are going to say, we want half, and we'll report to the bureaus that it was paid but settled. You tell them that's not good enough. Say, look, the money's not my concern. I don't care if you guys, I don't, the only thing I want the bank to do for me is to have this removed from the bureau. And that is what you're just going to stick to no matter what. For some amount, they will be willing to do that. But I feel the best way to do it is to go into the bank and sit across from the gentleman and let him see a face. Now, it wouldn't hurt to have a script right in front of you. You still don't want to really admit fault or even that you owe the account or that you do own it. Now, your bank may know that. And again, I'm saying that because there's a bunch of different scenarios and entities that you could walk into. In a bank, they're going to pretty much know who you are and know that that's your account and so forth. So just negotiate with them. Now, what happens is you want a letter of intent. You want a letter that has an agreement there before any money is handed. So this is handed over, and this is a proposal, for lack of a better term. The letter, and you can even write this to save time. The manager can go in his office and type it up in a couple seconds and print it off. Just stating that, we will remove the item from the reports, or we will allow the item to be removed from the reports if, Mr. XYZ here will pay us 50%. So you take that receipt, and then later, when you pay that amount, you want a second thing in writing saying that you've paid the amount and they're going to remove that item. You just want as much paperwork and receipt as you can. Receipts are always good. Your accountant will tell you that. Now, a letter that you write is basically going to be similar to the other letters that we have had. And you're going to go off of correspondence that they've already given to you. So that's how you're going to refer to what kind of account it is, who the account is with, and the account number, because you have it in another letter. Other than that, there's no other facts that you need to go into. And you want to do the least necessary to get that item removed from the report. And those are your negotiating points. If it's not something that you agree to, don't be afraid to stand up and walk out of there. I mean, really, don't be afraid of that. You do what is best for you. Okay, so that scenario is going to come around, and I go back to what I've said before. Always write down what it is you want to express, to the representative that is assisting you, and just be professional each step of the way.